Coffee's a thing that people can get quite passionate about. It's something that touches almost the soul of us.
It's a really special sort of business. There's so much depth to it. We roast all the coffees ourselves and blend teas.
H.R. Higgins is a specialist coffee business. We source the best coffees and teas from around the world.
Coffee and tea are very personal things. They're a bit like clothes. We see the whole process. We see the coffee trees being planted. We know the farmers. We get to meet the people who ship the coffee.
Going back to the source is important.
All these relationships between all these different people. Quite often I'll say to the staff when they're handling the coffee, treat it with care, because an awful lot of people have worked really hard to get those beans here.
When my father started in 1942, he longed to have the coffees from Central and South America, but it was the wartime and coffee was controlled. We couldn't go out and buy coffee from wherever.
He had a very narrow band of availability, and then part of his allocation from the ministry were these bags of coffee that just said product of Tanganyika, KNCU.
This coffee reminded him of the flavour of Colombian coffee, but it came from Africa, grown on Mount Kilimanjaro. And that's the kind of flavour that he was looking for.
There was a trip organised by the Federation of London Coffee Roasters to Kenya, and while the rest of them were being chaperoned from one Kenyan coffee estate to the other, he decided to take this bus trip to try and track this coffee down, and he's written all about this trip. He met an Englishman living there who was liaising with the Chaga people and helping them sell their coffee. He was probably the first independent roaster to actually go to somewhere like that and buy coffee direct. In 1952, my granddad appeared on the BBC in a programme presented by Richard Dimbleby, all about the history of the coffee houses. And my granddad turned out to be a complete natural, and it had a huge effect. We got a lot of customers, so that was a very significant moment. Getting the Royal Warrant was a big moment as well.
It's been a great honour and pleasure to serve the royal family, the royal household.
For me personally, it's part of being something quite special. They do represent a standard that people admire.
Most people have come to us through personal recommendation, and I would say that's how we came to get involved with the palace.
We have customers whose parents were customers, whose grandparents were even customers. So for me, it's the feeling of being part of people's lives.
What we're trying to do is unlock the secrets of the coffee bean for you, the customer, to enjoy.